Okay, I am speaking now. Am I audible? Okay. सचिन जी, I'll need help with the थोड़ा loud हो गया है ना? हो गया ठीक है. Yeah, we'll probably do some interaction in the beginning, and then ऊपर लूँ थोड़ा, ऊपर जाऊँ मैं ज़िंदगी में. Okay, is that okay? All right. मेरे चश्मे गंदे तो नहीं दिख रहे ना? First class. Okay, ready to start? Good morning. Yeah. All right. मेरे को यहाँ पे भी मेरी फोटो दिख जाए तो अच्छा है. यहाँ ये मेरे को दिख रहा है. Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Slide चाहिए हाँ. This is fine. This is good. Yeah. Okay. Okay, should we start? Give me 3, 2, 1. Okay, good morning everyone. I want to welcome you to session 3 of the face-to-face interaction under the college to corporate course being offered from IIT Bombay. My name is Virendra Sethi. I am a professor here at IIT Bombay, and I've had the pleasure of interacting with you at the first session, the face-to-face session when we were starting the course. So before today's theme is, the overall theme is presentation skills and time management, and we will work on this for 1.5 hours. So that's about till 11 o'clock, and then we take a half-an-hour break, followed by a talk by Professor Leena Jha. Okay, so I think there was some work that had been assigned, preparatory work that had been assigned for this face-to-face session. So I'd like to get a chance to interact with some of you to hear what happened out of doing that work. We'll spend about 5 minutes on activity 1, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, also another 5 to 10 minutes on activity 2, and then using that as the basis, we will proceed for the detailing of presentation skills and time management. Okay, so it's a lot of material today packed up in a very short time, so I'd like really for you to be at the edge of your seats. I know it's a Saturday morning, some of you it may be a little too early also, but let's just wake up and get going. All right, so I'd like for someone to please share. So let's start the interaction. Let's go to one of the centers. And if there are any questions, if you're on YouTube and if there are any questions, could you please post them, and then our team will bring them to me, and I will do my best to be able to answer your questions in real time. If we cannot answer them in real time, we promise that we will get back to you offline as soon as possible. Okay, where are we? Amrita. Hi Amrita, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Very good. Nice to have you here early morning. So I see the lovely sunshine outside of your, and I see Maji ka picture also over there. So my namaskar. I've been to Amrita, and I've had chance to kind of interact with Amrita in the past. So my greetings to you. Okay, so would you please share from the first activity? There was a video on risk. So I'd like to hear what is it that what's the work that got done after watching that video. I'd asked for 5 areas of life where you identify that fear may have prevented you. What are those 5 fears, or what are some of those fears? And then accessing courage to actually break through some of those fears. So would you like to share, please?
So in the earlier stages of my school life, I was quite hesitant to speak in front of a big crowd.
Okay.
Like, for example, any cultural fest or anything like that.
Okay.
So I was always hesitant till late into my 10th standard. And then someday my teachers forced me to get into an event, and once I took that first step, the next 2 years I took part in a lot of competitions, and I was more open to speaking in front of a crowd.
Excellent.
So it's just that the initial fear of something new, when you're trying something new for yourself, is, and not worrying about it and taking the risk to do it anyways, not thinking about the result, I believe is a very good thing to do.
Yeah, excellent. So thank you. And you really want to see, here's the thing. I think what I heard, first of all, fabulous that you did that. Second is, I think I heard you say that somebody pushed you, or somebody, was a stand for you, like some of your teachers, you said, right?
Teachers, my teachers.
Yeah, okay, good. So it takes somebody, but a lot of times you can't be waiting for somebody to come and give you that push. Sometimes you have to go up to your teacher or go up to a mentor and say, I want to get a breakthrough in this, or I want to get trained in this. Would you support me? How do I go about it? Okay, so you asking for it sometimes can be a first step. And actually I'm encouraging all the participants in this program, I'm saying don't wait. Please go ahead and talk to your teachers, talk to your friends, talk to your family, say what you're committed to getting a breakthrough in, say what you're committed to getting trained in, and start the work. Okay, so thank you for doing that. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the teachers that actually supported you.
Thank you, sir.
Now, have you had a chance to say thank you to them?
Yes, sir. In fact, in my last year at school, I was the school captain. So
okay.
The teacher who had encouraged me had been working in our school for 25 years.
Okay.
So in a ceremony for her, I had actually thanked her for making me the person I am.
Fabulous, fabulous. And she'll live with that memory for the rest of her life, It's the greatest thing that a teacher can be accomplished for, okay, is your success. So thank you for doing that, and I'm sure it made a difference for her life. All of us are human beings. So if you've made a difference to someone, and we are then the person who the difference was made to, the person who had a breakthrough, if that person comes back to you, whether now or many years later, comes back to you and says to you, you made a difference, that changes the quality of life. Okay, so thank you for doing that.
Thank you, sir.
All right, who else? Anybody else from Amrita want to share?
No one here wants to share anything, sir.
So now, whoever, whatever your teacher did for you, what's your name?
Rama Miss.
Okay, Rama Miss, whatever your teacher did for you, you'll have to do for the people in your room right now.
I guess I'm not as good as Rama Miss.
No. That's so. See, what made Rama Miss. Oh, you said Rama Miss was the teacher, is it? No, I wanted to know your name.
My name is Parthsarthi.
Parthsarthi, okay, Parthsarthi. See, what made Rama Miss successful was not what she said, but that you listened to her. So I'm inviting the people in your room right now to take a step as a demonstration of this is what it's going to take to get a breakthrough. So I promise, even if it's just to say 1 or 2 sentences, I'm okay, but you must share. This is an opportunity. You're here to get trained, okay? So take the microphone and say something, even if it is to say, hello sir, I'm very scared. Yeah, please give it the microphone. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is Jahnavi.
Hi.
Hello, sir. Actually, I want to say about I have a phobia of cars.
Yes.
Since my childhood, I never got into a car. I was
Okay.
like, when I get into the car, I'll get vomiting. It's not because I have an allergy to it. It's because of my fear.
I understand.
Till engineering second year, I have the same problem. And recently, when in holidays, when I went to my home, I really thought, why am I I am having this fear?
Okay.
So I thought I should be habituated to it. Then I went to the driving school. Then I asked, I have a problem with a car. So teach me how to drive a car.
Wow.
And
Okay.
they're like, you have a problem. How can you? And then they asked some teacher to say it. Then now I can drive a car. I can sit in a car.
Brilliant. Okay. Okay. Now, can I interact with you a little bit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can we talk?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm very upset with you. You can ask me why.
Why?
Okay. Because you had gold to share and you were not sharing it.
Actually, I'm scared to speak.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But you should just know that when you are committed to sharing yourself, and that is more important, then fear will automatically become small. So I'm going to ask you, I will not be upset if you give me a promise. Can you make me a promise?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the promise is that you will be bigger than your fear.
Yes, sir.
Promise?
Yes, promise, sir.
Very good. I appreciate that. So can you give her a big hand, please, everybody? A big hand to her. Okay, very good. Thank you. All right. Anybody else now want to share after that magical share? Anybody else in the room?
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Fabulous. Good morning.
This is Charita.
Hi, Sarita.
Sir, 2 days back, actually, I have met with an incident. I just want to share with you.
Sure.
It is, I mean, like, beside my college, there will be a place called Valikau. So I went there on, like, regarding some work. So after that, it got like afternoon 12 o'clock. After the work, I was about to go to the college. So it's our lunch time. So I thought I can have lunch outside and I can go. So at that time, I didn't have my money. So I thought of going to bank and drawing it. So I just went and I drew money and I came outside. When I came outside, there was no one at all on the road. But there was a purse with some money fell over there. And it's like I took the purse and I went to the restaurant and I opened it. I just saw the visiting card, driving license and the debit cards in that. It's a foreigner's purse actually. His name is Paul Merrill and I thought of contacting him. But there was not an Indian. It was not an Indian number.
Okay.
So and what happened? I just came again down and I saw him. I recognized him as that guy as the photo on the driving license is same. I mean, person who I saw there is a man on the driving license photo. So what happened? I just asked him, "Are you Mr. Paul?"
Wow.
So he said, "Yes, I'm Mr. Paul." He was so frustrated and it was very hot. It is very hot here. So in that hot sun, he's sitting aside, throwing bag, everything. He was searching around. I just asked him, "Did you lost your purse?" So he said, "Yes, I have lost it," and I gave him. And he was like, I just saw his face and he was so happy because all the debit cards and lot of money was there in that purse, and he pleased a lot, and he kept thank you, and he joined his hand and he told thank you very much and God bless you. He told, I'm very proud. I'm very thank you, and you have very good values. He told me like that, and at that moment I felt very much happy. And in turn, he gave me 500 rupees. I told I don't want it. You please give to some other anyone else. But he told, please take this as God's blessing,
Wow.
and he told so. I took it, but I didn't even spend. I mean, like use to my any of the use. I just kept it aside with some mark that I have got it
Wow.
because of doing something. I'm very happy because of that.
Beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. So, you know, God comes in many ways, okay?
Sorry, sir.
God comes in many forms.
Yes, sir. Seriously. I'm very
So, yeah, I'm acknowledging
I'm
you.
very happy.
Yeah, I'm acknowledging you for being someone who actually could receive that. Not the money, but that deed that happened through you.
Yes.
Okay? Alright, you should also know that when you begin to get yourself trained in your own development in a very honest, committed manner, magic begins to happen around you. Okay? So don't be surprised by it anymore. Because when you are carrying that glow, when you carrying that space of commitment, things around you begin to happen in a way in which it is magical. But you'll get used to it very soon because around you magic happens all the time. Okay, so congratulations, well done, alright, absolutely well done. Big hand for all of you. Hey, yeah, big hand, everybody. Alright, very good, thank you. Alright, Amrita, can I say bye-bye now? I'll move on to the next center. Yes? Can I move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll come back to you. Thank you very much. That was brilliant. All right, I recognize this face. I've seen them in the last week's video. How are you? Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
All right, what are your names?
Myself Arvind Hishikar.
Myself Madhuri.
Arvind, is it? Arvind?
Yes.
And what's your name?
Yeah, sir.
Arvind, and what's her name?
Madhuri.
Madhuri. Madhuri? Okay.
Madhuri.
All right. Okay, thank you, Madhuri. So, want to share anything from the work that you did, the preparatory work, with regard to areas of your life where fear may have prevented you and the importance of you having your commitment be bigger than the fear?
Yes, sir. Actually, when I was in my school days, in about sixth standard, and actually I used to play some instruments on the stage, and I was fear to speak on stage, but I used to play the instruments. So suddenly one day, the guy who usually used to speak pledges or morning prayer from the stage, he was absent, and suddenly our faculty told me to handle that over, and I was so surprised. I was so I feared that in front of a whole school in near about 500 to 600 students, how I will be able to do that. But my friends, my teachers, they all supported me, and it was a huge risk that I took that day and overcome the fear. And from that day onwards, I used to go regularly to say the pledges or morning prayers, and I just stopped playing the instruments, and just I used to go to for prayer and pledge from the stage.
Excellent. You know, the other side of fear is actually a lot of fun. Okay, when you have that breakthrough, the other side, a lot of fun. So actually, I'm committed that all of you begin to really participate and enjoy and have the fun of life which is available. So that's fabulous. Okay. Now, anything in the last week or so, anything that you are dealing with right now in terms of your fear?
Yes, sir. Actually, I wanted to ask that the risk we have to take in our life, every time we have to take it. It's just every second, every minute we are taking the risk in our life, and especially in our student life or while we are entering to the career mode. So if we take a risk and it is successful, then no problem. And sometimes it may fail. So how to adjust ourselves or how to adapt in that situation
So,
without getting
so how,
depressed or
so let me
getting,
ask you this, okay? When you are successful, how do you adapt?
uh,
Aha. So, okay, it's the see,
yes,
it's the meaning you attach to it.
yeah,
Okay, good. So when you fail, you start again. Again, I keep using the example of bicycle again and again, okay?
yes,
So when you take a risk, it is not so as to be able to accomplish a certain outcome which you want. It's something that you experiment with. It may have a particular result one way or another. You find out. If you wanted a certain outcome and that doesn't happen, you failed. Fine. What is the outcome you actually got? That's the outcome you got. You call it a success or you don't call it a success is left up to you. Don't like it, start something else. So when you say risk,
this is
give me an
thoughts.
example of a bad outcome.
Bad outcome is sometimes if we have some projects
No, no,
going
don't, no,
on
no, no,
at the
no,
same time
no,
we,
no, no, no. So Arvind, I want a real bad outcome. Don't give me don't give me imaginary ones. Give me a real one, which happened to you.
uh, mm, I don't got the bad outcome right yet
Sorry,
in my
sorry,
life.
sorry.
I didn't get any bad outcome in my life.
So
I
then,
took the risk.
so see,
I
you
made it
sharing
successful
that,
every
okay,
time.
you sharing that most of the time when you have risked something, it has led to good things.
Yes.
Fabulous. Now, there may be times when it may not lead to good things. So, suppose I went and said something to someone and it was risky to say it, and that person got upset. Okay? I didn't
Yes.
mean to upset that person, but the person got upset. I can clean it up, I can
Yes.
apologize.
Yeah.
Okay? You
But
can
actually,
even,
sir, due to if sometimes may fail at the point of at one point in the life. So the according to human psychology, the thoughts come up in our mind very fast, very rapidly. So how to tackle that thoughts?
so how do you tackle gravity on a bicycle?
Just by applying opposite force.
No, no, you don't apply opposite force. When you get onto the bicycle, you say, now let me apply opposite force. No, you don't do that. You have over a period of
By
time.
balance,
Huh?
practice and practice
Heck,
balancing.
perfect, perfect. You will know. You will know when it is that, your emotions, etc. Everything. So at some point in time, let's not talk about bicycle. You learned how to walk at some time, right?
Yeah.
So at that point in time, your psychology was not developed, and your emotions were not coming, and thoughts were not coming, and gravity was not the bad thing, right?
Yeah. Right.
As an adult, we made gravity bad, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me give you another example. Astronauts, when they go to the moon,
Hmm.
they have to practice newly how to relate with gravity.
Yes.
So, do you think they don't have emotions and they don't have thoughts?
Yeah. It's
Good.
that the practice that
Yeah,
makes them perfect.
yeah, right. So now anything new you want to take on, we sometimes adults, now when we grow up, we think, I know this, I have a degree, I have 3 degrees, I am successful, I have so many awards, I have so many trophies, my mother loves me, so therefore I can do anything. No, anything you want to do which is new, you and I have to practice. There's no way, there's no shortcut to it. So I'm inviting you to, you keep taking now.
Yes.
The other way to deal with it is that you have to stretch, okay? So if you want to win always, suppose you want to,
Yeah.
you like table tennis? Table tennis? You like table tennis?
Yeah. I like
Okay.
it.
So you really want to win, if you want to win,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Sir.
Yeah, then you
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
play with someone who's 6 years old. You'll always win. But if you want to grow in your
Yes.
skill in table tennis, you'll have to play with somebody who's better than you.
I have to play with. Yes.
Right. So basically same thing. If you want to grow as a human being, you want to take your skills to the next level, you'll have to play with bigger players. And usually people who are senior to you, who have more experience, are people who have more, they have better skills. You work with them as an apprentice, you play with them, and in the process you actually learn.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you, Arvind. Now what about Madhuri? You want to say anything, Madhuri?
No, right now.
Oh, no problem. I think Madhuri in the last video didn't want to come on the video. Is that right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. Madhuri, thank you very much for coming on the video this time. I appreciate it. Okay, big hand to you. Thank you very much. You can give a hand. Both of you.
Sir, may I ask you one question?
Sure.
Sir, how you tackle with the risk and how you prepare for the risk in your point of life, somewhere?
I think I'm writing a book. I'll share it with you. I got gray hair now, so I got many things to do. But I never prepare for a risk. You can't prepare for a risk.
Yeah.
The only thing you can do is share with enough people around you, that if there is some bad outcome that might come out of the risk, that there is a support structure, there's a safety net around you. So then you don't have to, be worried about the risk. There's no bad outcome that might. In fact, the risk may be that it may be successful. Yes? Okay, very good. Let's move on to the last
We should
sentence.
think positively that the risk will be successful.
Sorry?
We should think positively that risk will be successful and we should make it successful, not a failure.
Yeah, I don't want to go into the whole conversation of positive, negative. For every positive, there will be a negative. So I don't want to, get into that conversation. We unnecessarily give meaning of positive and negative. So, let it be, let it be. And by the way, I'm not saying that, it's a habit, okay? We inherited it. But if you ask, anybody who's successful, they don't spend too much time on what is negative and what's positive. They see a possibility, they see, a future, and then they begin to participate in it, and whatever comes out of it, they'll deal with it. So, yeah, nothing positive, nothing negative. I mean, it's okay, it's a nice way of human beings to classify things, but it's not necessarily empowering. For every time I do something positive, now I'm waiting negative will happen. I don't know. So my request to you is to just allow it. It's okay, positive, negative thinking is okay, but don't be too much given by it.
Yes.
Okay, try it. I don't know, I don't know if I'm making sense, but you should try it and see how it shows up for you.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Arvind. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bache. Bye. All right, let's take the next activity now at another center. Now. All right. Hello, Amrita, how are you? Hi.
I'm fine, sir. I'm Akshaya.
Hi, Akshaya.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Slow down. Okay. So,
sir, can I just share my fear or risk, overcoming of fear or risk?
yes.
Sir, actually I had recently my bus, which was I traveled from Bangalore to Coimbatore. I had to reach Coimbatore by around 5 o'clock, but the bus had come earlier. I slept off in the bus. I was alone. So I didn't know which place it stopped. I just opened my eyes. It was near somewhere near the Kerala border. I had missed my place. So I had a bigger situation how to tackle that. I was alone. The time was 4:30 in the morning. I just had to interact with some people. There was no much people around, so I just had to interact with them and find out which place actually I was in. The bus driver alighted me in a very rare and I didn't know, many people were not around it, so I didn't know which place actually I had to go. So I asked those people nearby, and by asking that at the correct point and correct college, or else I would have missed my that day and have landed somewhere else. So I think I overcome that fear.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. All right. I'm going to, since you're saying that, I want to share something. Okay. See, you were in a certain situation, and given that situation, you actually became a hero. Okay. I want to also say, there is a new word in the dictionary now. Men are heroes, women are sheroes. Okay. So women, when we human beings, when we get put in a situation which demands that we be a hero or a shero, it emerges. It automatically is there. We can actually deal with the situation. Okay. But we don't have to wait for circumstances. We don't have to wait for an awkward situation at 4:30 in the morning in a bus in a lonely, place where you're stranded. On a day-to-day basis, you can actually create for yourself commitments which are larger than yourself, which will require you to go beyond your normal comfort zone and continue to become bigger as a human being. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm just saying that you don't have to be waiting for a circumstance or for an emergency for you to be a shero. So can you please start creating commitments in life where it's going to call for all your greatness, and there will be risks involved, and you'll have to talk to people who have to be at the right time, at the right place for you to be able to fulfill your commitment. Okay, I'm going to close with that. So so I want to thank you for sharing that, because that's something that happens for most of us in one special circumstance, but that's available to us at any point in time as a created life, not as a circumstantial life. If we create a life in a way in which I am saying what I am committed to, in which I am saying that something bigger than myself is expected of me, and then you start giving yourself, as I spoke in the previous interaction, that you have to keep growing by working with people and working with commitments that are bigger than what you know yourself to be. So thank you very much. And you're Akshaya, right? Akshaya? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the slides now. I'm now going to share with you about presentation skills and time management. Okay, so we have an hour or so in which there's a lot of work to be completed. So I will now start. So I hope everybody can see this slide. It says presentation skills and time management. This is the third session of face-to-face of the College to Corporate program offered by IIT Bombay. Let's move to the next slide. So again, I want to welcome you. I want to acknowledge that you are the kind of people who are committed to their own growth and development. So thank you for that. And you want to continue to honor and respect yourself and your peers, friends, family for taking this initiative and working with you. So this is something that we dealt with in the interactions just now. We took some sharing. Here's something I want to share with you in just to underline this whole aspect of fear. Okay, fear can be of two types. One, which I'm referring to as A, which is real. So what is a real fear? So if you are crossing the road and you see a bus coming at full speed while you are crossing the road, that fear is real. If you see a snake, for example, whether it's in your hostel or whether it's near your home or whether it's in the jungle, if you see a snake, you better be scared, because it can harm you. So it is more of an instinct based. You and I as animals, okay, there's some instincts we have in which that fear shows up, and that is really intended to protect you. But then there's another kind of fear which is in our imagination. Now I'm not saying that it's imaginary in the sense of that the experience of fear is not real. No, no, no. The experience of fear is very real. Your hands will sweat, your legs will shiver, your body, there's all, the entire experience of your heart will beat fast, all those things will happen. But it is in your head. It's really not out there like a bus or like a snake coming at you. So, for example, if there is an audience which is in front of you and you have to go to speak, it appears like it is an enemy army. That's not true. Nobody's out to harm you. Nobody's out there to hurt you. But at the same time, my imagination or my, the way I have it, the construct I have in my mind is that, okay, these people are going to be, harming me or, affecting me or in a negative way or something like that. So that's really in your imagination. That's not real. So I'm basically pointing to that the kinds of fear in A, you have to honor those. Okay, those are instinctual, they are intended to protect you, they are real. Okay, but when it comes down to things that are in imagination, you have to practice to recognize them, do a deconstruct or dismantle, and keep looking to see where is it that you kind of may have made it in your imagination and that's not real. And sometimes the experience of risk is actually coming because you have imagination around it. Okay, so keep practicing, and then you'll get more chances to be able to dismantle those. Alright, we did this, but I don't think we have time for it now, so let's move on. Okay, so now I'm going to focus on presentation skills. Okay, alright, so from the feedback that I have received, from the interaction that we've been having with our student team over here, there are some of these conversations that are pretty dominant for us. The concerns, okay, the concerns are, will I make mistakes? Yeah, sure, you will make mistakes. So the answer to that is yes, you will make mistakes. Is there a problem with that? No, there's no problem. The problem is when you think you should not make a mistake. If you make a mistake, you can always clean it up. Okay, so that question is there, and that's the simple answer to that. Will it make me look bad or stupid? I don't know. If you feel bad or stupid, yes, then you look bad and stupid. If you don't look bad and stupid, then you don't look bad and stupid. People will do whatever they'll do. People will think whatever they think. I can't control on what people will think or what people will not think. However, I want to say something. When you are on stage, the person that you are worried about is you in the audience. Let me say that again. When you are in the audience and you are looking at the person speaking and you're saying, in your mind or with your friend next to you, you're saying, oh, look at that person, doesn't know anything, what is it, no presentation skills, it's stammering, is nervous, ha 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 ha. You are saying that sitting in the audience about that person who's out on the stage. So now you are worried when you are on stage that there will be people like you in the audience for you. You're in trouble now. So my suggestion is that the place where you start is you be a good audience. When you sit in the audience, listen for gold coming from the speaker. Judgment and evaluation as a human being will be there, but keep it aside. Listen to the commitment with which the person is sharing. The moment you start listening with commitment, I promise you, when you walk up on stage for your talk, that there will be people in the audience who will listen to you committedly. So you have to just take my word for it. You have to practice, practice, practice both as a great listener and a great audience, and then automatically you will have some room to be able to be a great speaker also. Okay, how to stop heart from beating? I first didn't want to write the word fast, but then added the word fast. Good, your heart is beating, and that it is beating fast means you're excited, life is happening, good for you. All right. So anytime you like something and the heart beats fast, you don't have a problem. Anything you're scared about going in front of an audience and speaking and your heart beats fast, it shouldn't happen. That's not true. Excitement automatically brings the heart beating. It's something important that you're going for. Your heart is beating fast. That's a natural reaction. It's absolutely perfectly okay. All right. How to stop shivering of legs? You have to practice. okay. Even I used to have, my legs used to shiver, okay, when I used to stand in front of the audience. I used to wear loose pants so that nobody could see my shivering legs, okay. So, but with practice, now I don't even have to worry about shivering, I don't have to control it, it doesn't have, nothing has to happen, it's fine, but it's a matter of practice, okay. How to prevent sweating of hands and feet, that is also a part of practice. What if I forget what I wanted to say? Well, if it's a recitation where you are supposed to memorize, then it's a little difficult situation, but by and large, if you're in a professional situation, you can always have a script with you, you can always have cue cards with you which you can use, okay. So that's not an issue. Sometimes you might have to refer to your cue card, sometimes you might have to refer to your script, no problem with that. What if I forget, that's already there. Will I be able to communicate? Again, you'll have to find out. Will I be able to ride a bicycle? No, the first time you will not, second time you will not, third time you will not, but by the time the 70th time, 71st time, you'll be able to ride the bicycle, and you don't have to worry about any time. Even now, even if you have not ridden a bike for 10 years or 5 years or 2 years, you can pick up a bike and you'll be able to ride it. So communication is also like that. You want to keep practicing till you know when you are saying it, what is the person hearing, can you hear what the person is hearing, and then respond, okay. So that's also practice. So many people in the audience, yeah, that's a big one. I mean, if I am talking one-to-one, I don't have a problem, but if I have 100 people sitting in front, or not 100, somebody yesterday said 9 people, the moment, if it's 9 people it's okay, but if it's 10 people then it's too many people. Now, how many people can you talk to at one time? One person. At one time you can only talk to one person, only talk to one person at one time, then move to the next person in the audience, move to the next person in the audience. At one point in time you can only talk to one person, and that you are already good at, you can talk to one person, so there is no concern about that then. So again, it's a matter of getting practice and making sure that you're okay about talking to one person in an audience and then move to the next and move to the next, okay. How do I convince someone? Don't convince anybody, just be true to what you want to say, say what your commitment is, say what you want as an outcome, make a request, make a promise. You don't need to convince anybody. If they can hear your commitment, they'll automatically want to play with you, they'll want to participate with you, they'll want to support you, okay. So I'm not too much of a fan for the word convince. I do not convince anybody, I don't want to convince anybody. I will make requests, I will make promises, and then ask people to participate and support me, okay. So that's another part of the practice. Alright, then let's move on to the next slide. Alright, now notice, okay, notice that in this entire bank of concerns, there is one and only one theme, and that theme is you, me, that's my only concern. How will I do this, how will I feel better, how will I, me. That's the whole game about communication is about me. Where is the other person? You forgot about the other person. So there is this joke, I'll tell you a joke. There's a person who keeps talking about me. So the friend says, look, you always keep talking about me. I mean, there are other things in life, do you talk about anything else? Says, okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, let me talk to you. What do you think about me? Comes back to me. Okay, so the human beings are a little caught up in too much. We are too dominated by our own selves. Okay, so the point here is that there is something that's happening out there, and if you begin to have attention on that, then the freedom becomes available in terms of communication. So enough about you. Let us pay attention to what is waiting to be communicated. Okay, important thing is now not you. Important thing is not the person you're going to speak to. Important thing is, what is it that is waiting to be communicated? Let's focus on that. All right. Okay. Okay, so I actually intended for this animation, but this animation is not showing up, but that's okay. Here are some elements of what is waiting to be communicated. Okay, so that is, by the way, you. Whoever you're dealing with is this big person over here. Obviously you're small, you're little, there are other people who are bigger, they know better, they're more senior, they have more experience, and you're this little person sitting over here. This one is you. Okay, by the way, that's not true anymore. okay. You are a human being, you are an adult now, you actually are exploring a new dimension of life being an adult, you are actually as much as I am or anybody else around you now. There are still people who are in school, there are still people who are infants, they need to be taken care of, parents, no problem, okay. But you are now at the borderline of being an adult now, so welcome to that world, welcome to that world of adventure, okay. So let me just share with you, so there is you, there is this person. Now it will be nice if all the conversations are affectionate and loving and all of that stuff, alright, it will be great. But the fact of the matter is that you don't approach, see this is what you are saying, all the affection and all the good things is what you are saying, all the love, all the hearts is what you are saying, but in the back of your mind, this particular person appears to you as some kind of a danger. So then you have to talk to a person who is dangerous in a particular way. Now you will pretend that you are very nice, everything is okay, I am very respectful, I appreciate you. In my mind however I am so scared of you that my words will not come out of my mouth. Okay. Now imagine this person, okay, this person is dealing with who? This person is dealing with a little boy over here or little girl over here who is scared, and even the slightest thing I will say to this person, the person will start going wah wah wah. That is the background, this is the condition, okay. So let me describe it a little more. By default this is what is happening presently. Who is you that is communicating? You are a bag full of worry and fear. Something bad will happen if you did not communicate properly. Nothing bad will happen. Even if you say something which upsets somebody, apologize, clean it up, what is the problem? There is no problem. They are not devils, they are not people who are out there to attack you, okay, another human being. Now when you are a bag full of worry and you are worried that something will bad happen. Now who is that person for you? Some devil who has been sent by God to insult you, specifically sent exclusively for you, personal. God sent by God to a devil to disturb you, to insult you, to make you feel like a small person, okay. That is who that person is for you. Or it could be some criminal, okay, who has come with the guns, threaten you or something like that. Or it could even be somebody with a lot of knowledge, oh they are so knowledgeable, they are so accomplished, therefore it makes them an alien from another planet. No, they are all as much a human being as you and I are. At some point in time that big person was also your age, and that person was also born if they are human beings. Otherwise we will have to check whether they were aliens from another planet. Okay, so you have to start looking at where is it that you, in your background, this is what you have, and against that you are now working, so there is not much choice. Alright, let us move on to the next slide. So I have said this before but I will say it again, alright. Are you going to commit to practicing, or do you fantasize climbing Mount Everest in one day? Let us get clear about this, okay. Let us get really clear about this. If you are committed to practicing, welcome to the training, welcome to this world of commitment where you will make requests, you will make promises, you have support structure which can support you in actually doing the practice. If you want to fantasize that tomorrow you will get up in the morning and you will be a star at an interview, or you will walk into some job, some place for job, and they will say hey please welcome, give you garlands and say welcome, we have been waiting for you all these years, that is not going to happen. So practice, okay, I am inviting you to a world of practice. I do not think there is any way out. Let me just bring you back to places where you practiced and you actually mastered something. So you learned to walk at some point in time. How many times did you fall? Did you count? No, you didn't count. You didn't even know how to count then. If today you were to start, for example, if let's just do an experiment, okay. So suppose when you were born, it's a cruel experiment, but let's just say it. Suppose I were to take a baby today and actually not let them walk till they were 21 years old, but gave them the education, taught them physics, taught them mathematics, taught them all everything there is to know about gravity, okay, and said okay, at the age of 21 please now begin to walk. I bet you that the person will throw the laws of physics on your face to say why human beings cannot walk. Never mind about riding a bicycle, that's a different story. So we at some point in time learned how to walk, we learned how to ride a bicycle. When we learned how to ride a bicycle, that time we knew what it was to hurt. We hurt our elbows, we hurt our knees, but we got back on the bicycle and started again and started again and started again. We didn't count the number of times we fell down. We practiced, right? And then we learnt it. Did you have a concern? Okay, when you were a baby, of course, there was nothing about looking stupid or looking bad. But when you learned how to ride a bicycle, did you have a concern about looking bad or looking stupid? No, you didn't. In fact, you asked friends to help you. Even if they laughed at you, you said, please, 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 hold my bicycle again, help me get onto the bicycle again. You didn't worry about whether somebody was laughing at you or not. You did it. Oh, by the way, now if somebody tries to help you, you get up and say, I am a big person now, I am an adult now, I don't need any help, I can do it myself. No. If you want to go bigger than where you are, you will always require support. You will always need to have a support structure in people who are committed to your training and development because you are committed. Okay? Alright, next slide. So, I'm just going to say this, okay? Why all the emotion and struggle with ability to communicate? It's a lot of drama. Don't have to get caught up in that, okay? The access is not complicated. It is simple and you know it, and simply it is practice, practice and practice. Sachin Tendulkar, even till the last day of his actual professional playing, he was practicing. You think he's needs more practice? Nobody needs more practice, but if you want to stay at the edge of your game, if you want to continue to access greatness and you want to continue to have the muscles and the mind working all together at a time when it's needed and wanted, when the ball comes at a particular speed in a particular direction with a certain flight, you know that your body, your mind will automatically respond to it. You don't have to at that point in time think it is coming at so many kilometers per hour, this is the particular angle, by the time you think all of that, the game is over, your wicket is gone. Okay, so practice, that's all I want to say about this particular slide. Okay, now what to practice? Alright, now I'm giving you some exercises, some potential suggestions for doing the work. So every day is an interview. I'm just giving an example of interview because a lot of you would be looking at job situation, etc. You're looking for interviews. So let's just, every day is an interview. You have to carry yourself without speaking your words. People should know who you are. Why? Because they know who you are. Because of the interactions you've had with them, because of the committed conversations you've had with them, because of the contributions you have made to their lives. That's who the person is walking, and every day is an interview. So when you walk into an interview, you are carrying all your accomplishments from your day to day, your discipline, your commitment, your work, your hard work, your struggles, everything, and who's walking in there is somebody, that kind of a person. You don't even have to say a word, your presence is already experienced. So you can't overnight say, okay, tomorrow morning I'll get ready for the interview. No, it's an ongoing activity. It's like walking, it's like breathing, it's like practicing your muscles so that you stay fit. Okay, so every day is an interview. You want to start relating with however you will be at an interview. Can you be like that on a day-to-day basis? Then you don't have to be in an interview because every time that's how you are. You don't have to pretend. Oh, by the way, you can make as many mistakes as you want before you go for the that job interview. Okay? Alright. Every conversation is an opportunity to practice. Here's some things that I recommend that you not do. Okay? Break that habit. Stop gossiping. Human beings love to gossip. Stop gossiping. It does not forward your development and growth. It just adds noise and negativity. Let's not get into gossip, alright? I don't want to say too much about that. Time spent on social media. Too much time is being spent. Too much, just too much time being spent. You got to actually deal with real people in front of you, alright? So I'm not saying don't spend time on social, but don't spend so much time on social media. Balance yourself out so that you can actually be dealing with real people, unless of course your videos are going to happen, your interviews are going to happen in the video mode or something like that. Okay, here's what you could possibly do. Take one idea that you want to share, just one idea. Okay. So for example, I had the idea that in our next Tech Fest, the festival that we have at IIT Bombay, at the next Tech Fest, at the next Tech Fest, we should have a competition for sustainability, so that each student who comes to Mood Indigo or comes to Tech Fest goes back to their college and introduces the idea of sustainable campuses. Okay, that's an idea that I have. Now, that's the, I think it's a bright idea. I think this is the first time I have come up with it, etc., etc. If I just go to Google and I say sustainable campuses on sustainable campuses, what are the sustainable campuses, etc., or green campuses, there'll be, I bet you there are thousands and thousands of postings over there. So I interact with that, I learn from that, then I go to an expert or a senior person who deals with some of these issues, who deals with the campus, who's, let's say, the dean. Okay, the dean deals with the campus, Dean IPS deals with the campus. So I go talk to the dean and say, these are the things I'd like to do, you have any ideas, how can we do it? We talk. The dean, because of that person's stature, because of that person's experience, will give feedback, will say, we have tried these things, some things worked, some things didn't work. I learn from it. Then I go to the next person, and I go to the next person, I go to the next person. By the time I have gone to 5 people, that idea has begun to crystallize in such a way that actually I can take it forward. Or I might say, maybe not a good idea. That's also okay. An idea, not every idea that comes will be a good idea. Okay, so then if that is not going to be a good idea, let's drop it, let's pick up another idea. So I'm inviting you to pick up one idea, share it with 5 people, and every time you share it with one person, improve on it, improve on it, improve on it, learn from it. And then by the time you've done it the 5th time, hopefully effectiveness of your communication will begin to happen. Don't expect it the first 3-4 times. Okay, alright, very good. Next, what we will do is, here's the structure. Okay, where do you start? So start with family members, start with your parents, start with your mother, start with your father, start with your uncle, your aunt. Let them know. They could be a neighbor, there could be a senior person who lives in the neighbor, some uncle, auntie, who you enjoy talking to, talk to them. You already have a relationship with them. These are people who already know you to be a person who is committed, okay? Or if they don't know you to be committed, tell them, look, I'm committed to my training and I'm going to practice, so will you please help me, will you please support me? And I'm not concerned about whether you do it in English or whether you do it in mother tongue. This distinction, see, balance on a bicycle does not have a language. Somebody who speaks English doesn't ride a cycle better than a person who speaks in a mother tongue, okay? So I'm not worried about the mother tongue, I'm not worried about English. You got to just do it in whichever language you're most comfortable with. Once you're comfortable with that, then automatically language will get taken care of also. Okay, just a caution, okay? Do not go to friends, and I've put friends in quotation marks, do not go to friends who make fun of you. They're not going to support you. They're going to make fun of you. It will unnecessarily uninspire you, or it will make you feel bad or something. So don't, why unnecessarily go where they're going to make fun? Don't do it. At the same time, don't hate them, okay? They're your friends. They'll be friends in many other things, but they may not be your friend in your training and development. They may be friends for other things, and that's okay. You can have friends for training and you can have friends who are for other things. So you don't have to hate them for laughing at you. There are people, human beings are like that, okay? They'll make fun of you. Now, question is, do you make fun of people? If you do, stop it. That's like gossip. Do not make fun of other people. If you honor people around you, people will begin to honor you back. Okay, it's very as simple as that. All right. Work with friends, teachers, family members who can hear your commitment for training yourself. Okay, it's very important. It's very important that you work with people who can actually hear that you're committed to training yourself. All right. Here's another suggestion. This could be done at the college level. You form a group of 4 or 5 classmates. You request one teacher, please give us 1 hour someday, maybe on a working day or on a weekend. Okay. Write an essay of about 200 words, which is on a pre-decide. So all 4 or 5, if you decide, maybe you want to write about let's say what would be a good topic to talk about. Let's say you talk about the recent lunar eclipse. Okay, some of you saw the lunar eclipse, some of you didn't see it, some of you may have read up in the Google, etc. So pick up something from the Google, but don't cut and paste, okay. Read from the Google and then write in your own words 200. So that's the part where you come in, you have to do the writing yourself, okay, no cut and paste, there is no practice in that. So you write a 200-word essay, and then each one would have written on lunar eclipse, that's just an example, you can choose whichever topic you want, and then you come together on that one day with the teacher, all 4 or 5 of you and the teacher, and all you do is simply take your write up, okay, and you basically just stand there and read it to the 4 or 5 people in front of you, okay. Each person does that, they get feedback can be good or bad, take it constructively, learn from it, and you do that 1 week. Next week you do it again with the same group of students but a different teacher. Write another essay on another topic, invite the teacher, get the feedback from teachers and your classmates again. Do that 1 time, do that 2 times, do it at least 6 times, and then you will start to see results, okay. Now there will be a tendency to drop this exercise. Don't, keep practicing. Make a promise to your teachers. Once you made a promise, I am going to do this, then the way you honor your teacher is by keeping your promise, okay. Make the promise to your teacher and then keep that promise, that honors the teacher and honors you, okay. So that's a structure for you to maybe do a practice. Now these are just some suggestions, you can come up with whatever, but what you want to notice that there are some elements to it. There is some writing work to be done, there is some reading work to be done, there is some group talking work to be done, and there is a mentor or a coach who will be there to listen to you and be able to give you feedback. Those are the elements that are required for your practice. Whatever, if you don't like this, pick up another exercise, design something else, but make sure that these elements are a part of that exercise or that the structure. Okay, here's another suggestion. This is on reading, okay, this is on reading. 30 minutes in a day, read. 30 minutes in a day, read. Not from the web, not from a screen, from a book in your hands. 30 minutes, okay, that's very highly recommended. Read stories by great writers, it could be in English, it could be in your mother tongue, no problem. But 30 minutes of reading every day from a book. Share these books with your friends. You can go to your college library or get books from a local library. You don't have to spend money on the books, okay. And if you start reading, you will need a lot of money for many books once you get into the habit of reading. So get into a relationship with the library or get into a relationship with other friends who are reading, or find some teachers who are very fond of reading. Ask them to recommend books for you, okay. Learn from their readings. Usually most of the books I have read are not something I went to a bookstore and picked up and said, okay, let me read this book. No. It was a book that when I was a BTech student, some PhD students recommended, you read this book, I read those books. Then friends recommended, then teachers recommended. So those are the books that I have read, and they are fabulous books. Okay, people have gone through their reading, so I actually got the benefit of reading the best books. So I am inviting you to that also. So make a promise, okay, make a promise to finish 1 book in 1 month, minimum. 30 minutes a day and finish 1 book in 1 month, okay, that's another possible way to practice. Okay, so just to underscore, there are no shortcuts to greatness. Sorry, I wish there was a magic wand and I could just wave it on all of you, and you're already great. It's just your greatness needs to be accessed, and the way you access it is through practice, practice and practice, through people around you, promises around you. You commit to people, make your promises, keep your promises. Those are the access that you have to your greatness. So that you're already great, I know that. I'm saying that to you because I know that. The point is, are you going to access it so that you can have it be available for yourself? Okay, all right. So I invite you to commit yourself for that kind of work ahead. There are no tips and tricks here. It's hard work. Listen, there's hard work, and I'm inviting you for the hard work. It's promised, it's guaranteed, okay, and do it joyfully, because the outside, beyond these is like, some fabulous results, a quality of life that you have never experienced before. So I'm inviting you. I'm saying it because somebody actually had me go to the other side and see how beautiful and how fabulous it is on the other side. So I am inviting you to kind of come to that side, and the access will be through your hard work. Okay, so thank you for committing yourself for that. Okay, so I am going to stop for a moment before I go to part 2 of the session. So who would like to share? I'd like somebody to share. So I'd like to interact with some center. So can you help me with that? Yeah. Now let's go to some other schools which we have, or maybe we can start with this one. That's okay. Back to Amrita. Okay. Hi, Amrita. Hi. All right. I said a lot of things. Okay. So I want to know from you, what did you hear? Can you hear me? Amrita, can you hear me?
Hello, sir.
Okay, very good. So I'd like for you to share what is it that you heard in this conversation that I just had about presentation skills.
Suggestions or method to overcome the fear.
Okay, what else?
Communication, it's not about you.
Very good. So these are great words that I am saying, great lecture and all that stuff, right? But it has no meaning unless you take it and then practice. These are good words. I mean, I can tell you that if you go to any bookshop and you go to the self-help section, there will be books that will say how to improve your presentation, how to improve your communication skills. So you read that book and you put it on the shelf, and then nothing happens after that. So I am inviting you to now actually get onto the court and start practicing. So can you hear that as an opportunity for yourself? Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, earlier I used to have a fear of talking in front of a crowd, and then once now I am in a comfortable position in which if I want to speak about something, I can speak my mind clearly in front of a crowd. So my question is, as I'm interested in public speaking, I want more opportunities to get a chance to speak to people. So I don't want to stagnate myself. I don't want to be in a position where I'm just a normal placid water. How can I keep improving in that field? That's my question, because now actually like I'm talking to you, so I'm very comfortable in what I want to say and very clear in what I'm trying to convey. So I'm pretty confident right now, but I still want to keep improving. And what are the ways so that I can avoid stagnation?
Okay, so you should just know that I have no interest in you improving. Okay, I'm interested in you growing.
Yes, sir.
So there's nothing wrong with you that needs to be improved. You're already great.
Okay, sir.
So what I'm inviting you to do is to now commit. So you want to do public speaking, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you want to speak about?
Like at times I think about going into the teaching profession, because in my school days I had made a lot of mistakes, and I want to be the kind of teacher who can convey to students in a friendly manner.
So what are you waiting for?
Not only the subject.
One sec, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Fear, huh? Some fear? Some risk?
It's like I am actually pursuing engineering right now.
Okay.
And after engineering, I don't know what course to take to become a teacher.
Very good. So can you write an email to me and I'll respond to that?
Sure, sir. Okay.
Now, there are people in your own college who will be able to guide you on this. The question is, have you actually taken support from them? Listen, I'm quite okay if you're comfortable in speaking, etc., etc. I'm concerned about where is it now that you have to stretch yourself so that discomfort will come. I'm not committed to discomfort also. But you're not in the experience of what is required for you now, and you're not opening your mouth to actually ask. Now you're doing it right now. You're asking, what do I need to do next to become a great teacher? Yeah, you're asking that question now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So can you ask this of the teachers around you? Go talk to the principal, go talk to head of the department and say, I'm committed to this. What are the things I should do? Can I take opportunities to train myself and start doing it?
Sure, sir. Yes.
Okay, so what are you promising me now?
I have to get an idea of what I really want to do with myself.
No. What are you promising me now? You have an idea.
Yeah, I want to commit to my idea and get help from my professional teachers who can help me and guide me in this.
Keep it very simple. What is your promise? Say, I promise that.
I promise to get help from my teachers and to work in the direction of my goal.
Very good. And what is your goal? You'll have to tell them, right?
Yeah.
Good.
I plan to go.
Go ahead.
I commit to go into teaching.
Fabulous. Now, you might find out after discussing with 5 people that that is not such a good idea.
Yeah.
Then at that point in time, you'll come up with another idea, and you'll come up with another idea, and you'll come up with another idea, and one of them will click. And the next 10 years of your life are going to be used up by that idea.
Yeah.
So we have to risk that the idea that I'm entertaining in my head, I think it's a great idea, but till such time as I don't put it on the reality test and talk to some people about it, I will never know whether it's a good idea or not.
Yes, sir.
And once I have, the risk is that it may be a bad idea. But then let's quickly deal with it, right? Okay, it's not a good idea, let's get on with it, let's find another idea. So I'm going to actually, what I'm doing right now, I'm being bad to you. Why I'm being bad to you is because, not because I want to be bad to you, but because I'm not committed to your comfort. I'm not committed to your discomfort also. But the greatness that you are, you're not accessing it. You are happy with where you are. You're not letting your greatness actually ooze out of you and radiate out of you. That's why I'm being bad to you. Do you get my acknowledgement?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Good. I'm so happy that even though I'm being bad to you, you can hear my acknowledgement of you.
I'm always open to new suggestions, sir. It's not a problem at all.
You are that kind of a person. The question is, are you going to now move forward, make promises and start, or are you going to keep waiting for the right idea?
I'm going to start, sir.
Perfect. Perfect. Well done. Okay. Big hand for you. Big hand for you. Thank you. All right. So, anybody else in Amrita? Okay. Anybody else in Amrita? Okay. Let's go to the next school. Individual kneeling. Take some group. Yeah, that's a good group there. Yeah. Hi, Mother Teresa. How are you? Where is this? Which place? Mother Teresa, how are you? Can you hear me? Say yes. If you can hear me, put a thumbs up. If you can hear me, put a thumbs up. Lot of delays. No, nobody's responding. So let's move on to the next place then. Okay. Roland, Orissa, Roland Institute, Orissa, can you hear me? I can't see it all. Roland Institute, if you can hear me, put a thumbs up, please. Put a thumbs up. Hand raise. Okay, excellent, excellent. So will one of you please take the microphone and tell me what is it that you're hearing about practice and presentation skills?
Hello.
Yes. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
Sir, how can we improve our communication in public speech?
Okay, so you when you say public speaking, how many people is public?
Sir, more than 100.
More than 100?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So in 100, how many people are there? 100 people? Yes?
Not exactly, sir.
Say about 100 people, right? 100 people in the audience. Is that large enough?
No, sir.
Yes, no?
No, sir.
So how many?
No.
1,000 people?
Maybe.
Okay, so at one time, how many people can you talk to? Only one person.
More than one, sir.
I know, but in an audience of 100 people, how many people can you talk to at one time? One time, how many people can you talk to?
Sir, just I want to interact with members.
Okay, so I'm interacting with you now, right?
Yes, sir.
So go ahead, interact with me.
Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Sir, how are you?
I'm very good. What do you want to communicate?
I'm fine, sir.
What do you want to communicate?
Sir, recently I have gone through your program. It's quite good so that we can improve our soft skills.
Okay, very good. So thank you for doing the
Sir,
work.
we can improve our soft skills, communication in public speech with any fear.
Very good. So you standing up today and taking this opportunity for me is actually a breakthrough. You are already doing the work that is required to be able to be comfortable and be effective in public speaking. So keep practicing. Every time you get an opportunity in class, raise your hand, ask questions to the teacher. You have questions in class, right? Sometimes you have questions in class, yes?
Okay, sir.
So you should ask.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, very good. Keep practicing, okay? Keep practicing. Good job, very good job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, very good. So I think we need to move on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good luck. Let's move on to the slides. Yeah, because I don't have time. Okay, we're going to go back to slides now, and we're going to deal with the next topic. And the next topic is time management. Okay, everybody loves this topic, isn't it? All right. So, I have about 10 minutes to kind of give you the sum or essence of what I have learned after many years and many gray hair now. Okay, so in kindergarten, in primary school, secondary school, high school, we all had parents, teachers managing our time. In the morning, you have to get up at a certain time. The bell will ring at a certain time. The bell will ring at a certain time. You come home. You have to take a bath. You have to eat your food. You actually have to then go play some games. You have to do homework. And by a certain time, you have to go to sleep. Otherwise, tomorrow morning, you will not get up. So somebody is managing, whether it's teachers at school or parents at home, they're managing. So we actually have had no practice in managing ourselves. We have been thrown into adulthood on your own with no practice in time management, and they expect us to manage our life. It's going to get difficult. And then you know what, in college You're absolutely free, all the freedom you have, nobody's asking you what to do, nobody's telling you what you should do. If you attend the class, fine. If you don't attend the class, oops, you can't do that. You have to attend classes, okay? So those kinds of things are there, but you're all grown up, nobody's telling you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, when you study, when you not study, etc., etc. So if someone even tries to manage you, if your mother now tells you, oh, you got to go to college, you don't want to listen to your mother or you don't want to listen to your teacher. You're a grown up now. You're an adult. You can do whatever you want. No. As a professional, your freedom is only as much as you managing your time. If you manage your time well, you'll have the freedom. You don't manage the time, you'll run from pillar to post not knowing what hit you. So it's time to start practicing managing your time. Okay, so I'm just going to share a few slides as to how I manage my time. You can invent your own ways. I'm just suggesting, after many years of practice, many years of failings, this is the successful system I have. I'll just share it with you. You're welcome to take it or look up videos and look up material on the Google for other ways of dealing with it, but you have to manage. There's no escaping managing your time. All right. So first thing, you have 24 hours in a day. Sorry, you can't increase it. 24 hours a day, that's what you have. Now the point is, do you manage yourself do you live your life by a day, do you live it by an hour, or do you manage it by a minute? So if you wanted to deal with it in minutes, you have 1440 minutes in a day to do things, including sleep, of course. Okay, so that's the kind of, you'll have to look to see what resolution you're looking at. How precious is your time? If at a 1 minute level it's precious, you deal with it that way. If it's 1 day here, 1 day there, then you're dealing with it that way. You'll have to, if you're on vacation, 1 day here, 1 day there, doesn't matter. But in professional life, it's minute by minute by minute. You cannot be late for a meeting even by a minute. Okay, you might say, oh, just 1 minute. No, you might lose your job if you're late by 1 minute. Okay, all right. So the important question is, at this point in time, what is using your time? Are you using the time or the time is getting used up? So productivity comes with consciousness. See, one point in time, I was not able to produce results. Somehow, the day would go away, 2 days would go away, a whole week went away, and I didn't get the work done which I said I would get done. So I spoke to a senior person and I said, I'm somehow not able to manage my time, or I'm not doing well, and my productivity is very low. So the person, he said, don't do this, it's okay. What you do is, in the morning when you sit down to work, just write down every 15 minutes what you did in those 15 minutes. Just 2-3 words, don't spend time on it. But the moment you start being conscious to where your time is going, I realized my productivity went up. I was not wasting time. But you have to be conscious to it, you have to bring consciousness to it. Time otherwise will come and day will go, and you will not know when it went. Okay. So schedule and list of things to do, you have to manage these, you have to have a schedule and you have a list of things to do. I manage it in a particular way, I'll share it with you. You have to have a list of to-dos. Okay, so I have a printout which looks like this. I have tasks 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 2 columns. I have some open space over here also for some things which I just need to make some notes, etc. This is on a spreadsheet. You can make it for yourself. Anything I will put down on this task. These are the tasks that I need to do. No matter how big, no matter how small, I always write it down. Okay, now I'll just show you how to use it. Okay, so for example, if I have to study for a physics test, I'm giving you as an example as students. If you have to do a study for physics test, you write it with your hand. I've typed it up here, but you can write it with your hand. Or you say, okay, I want to develop my resume, so I want to look at all the templates that are available on Google, so I need to spend time on that to do that. Okay. So you'll write that, and then what you do is you go to a weekly timesheet. This is again on Microsoft Excel. You can make it. 7 o'clock my day starts, and then I have not shown you the full thing, but it goes till midnight. Okay, my week starts with a Saturday, ends with a Friday, and these I'll come to that. But it's a half-hour resolution, half hour. What am I going to do in those half hours? These are weekly, so I'll come back to this. Then what I do is I look at these 2 items and I need to schedule it now. It's a list of to-dos. If I don't schedule it, it won't get done. I need to say when I will do this, okay. So I actually go ahead and say, okay, so number 1 I will do on Monday from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock, and number 2 is my templates review, which I'll spend 1.5 hours, and I will do it on Tuesday morning. Now these over here, the grey ones already, are your weekly schedule. You could be doing a course. So for example, this is a particular course, this is another course. There is a certain schedule for already. You can't change the timetable. That timetable is already fixed. So you can do that, make a master weekly sheet for this particular semester, and then start filling in the blanks to say what activity you will do when. So once you have done that, then you will basically go and put against this. This circle means that you have scheduled it already. Okay, if there is no circle over there, that means it is not been scheduled yet. If it does not get scheduled, it will not get done. Okay, you have to schedule it, and then after you have done it, the happiest moment of your life is when you actually say, okay, done. So you put a tick, okay, done, and then of course you keep adding to this list of tasks, etc. I have just given an example of 2. All right. Okay, then there are 3 levels of resolutions that you will require. You need a daily resolution, which is at a 30-minute level. You need a monthly calendar, which is on a daily resolution, and then you use an yearly, which is, for example, if you want to have convocation in August, then you need to mark the date to say when is convocation. Or if you want to say holidays in Diwali time, then that's 6 months, 8 months from now, you will have to mark it. Okay, so you need to operate at 3 resolutions: daily, half-an-hour resolution, monthly at a daily resolution, and yearly, which is at a monthly resolution. Okay, so that's another thought that I wanted to share with you. Okay, some other suggestions that I've already said most of these, but start your week on a Saturday morning. That's my suggestion. Don't start it on a Monday morning, don't start it on a Sunday morning, start it on a Saturday morning. Plan most of your work on Saturday, Sunday. Any pending things to be done, finish them on Saturday, Sunday. Okay, by the time you're done with by Sunday lunchtime, you're freed up of all the pending work. Now your Sunday evening is free, so you can start Monday freshly and in a relaxed manner. Okay, so you can read this. There's nothing much over here other than some of the things that I've already said. Okay, then what else to say? Okay, so I'm now going to open it up for some conversations about your sharing as to what is it that you're hearing in this conversation. Okay, so I'll go to a center. Let's go to a center. Okay, where are we? RC Patel, Shirpur. Hi, RC Patel, how are you? Okay, one of you please share, what are you hearing about time management? Please take a microphone and share about what is it that you heard in this last conversation I had. What did you learn from it, or do you have any questions? Please, yeah, go ahead. Very good. Thank you.
There are 18 and
yeah, take the microphone close to you. She has, okay, go ahead, please.
There are 18 and 140 minutes in a day, right? We are managed. I learned that in the previous 15 minutes, what can I done? Which to-do list. Also, we have to do the list. What I did.
Okay, very good. But is that something? Is that something that will be useful for you?
We waste a lot of time. We waste a lot of time.
That's okay. So don't make yourself bad and wrong now. Okay, we as human beings we do a lot of nonsensical things. So don't worry about that right now. What I'm asking is, would you be able to? Will this help you? Managing your time like this, will it help you? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. So you have to start practicing. Whatever I'm sharing with you, it has emerged out of many, many years of practice. Okay, so you'll have to invent your own ways to see. But the point is that you have to manage your time. If you don't manage your time, time will keep going away. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Next college, please. Hey, this is where now? Rajkot, Rajkot. Are you at Rajkot? Hi, Rajkot. Is this Rajkot?
Rajori, sir.
I'm so sorry, the thing is not complete over there. What is this? Rajouri. Rajouri. Okay, very good. So please share with me what happened in the last 15 minutes. What did you learn? Is there something to communicate?
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, we have learned about time management, sir.
Is it something that will be useful for you?
Yes, sir. Sir, basically, I have a question about learning communication skills.
Okay.
Sir, is it important to have a great knowledge about some particular language that you want to learn?
Are you asking me whether you need to have skills in your profession?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking me whether you should be state of the art in terms of skills in your profession?
Yes, sir. And
Yeah.
Sir, there is a layman who wants to learn some particular language, say, sir, English language. Sir, but it will take him a lot of time to understand words, their meanings, etc. And sir, what are the steps so he could understand, so that sir he could learn the language in a very short period of time?
See, so what I understand what you're saying. So there are programs which are designed to be able to teach language effectively in a short time. There are programs like that. Okay, I'm not an expert in that area. So my request to you is to respond to the question about managing time. Does anybody else have a question about the time management? Anybody else in the group over there at Rajouri? Everybody's looking at the screen. I'm on the screen. Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So can you give the microphone to somebody else who might have a question also?
Sir, suppose we have made some time management or some timetable, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, suppose we may fall ill for some days. Then what are the steps so that we can get the timetable in accordance with our knowledge, sir?
So I'm not too sure whether I understand the question, but what I'm saying is that do you manage yourself from a list of things to do and a calendar? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Is it useful for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
It's
so for
useful.
those, very good. So for those of you who have not been doing it, I invite you to start managing yourself from a list of things to do and a timetable. Okay, and you want to learn to practice and start managing yourself like that. All right. Okay, good. Thank you very much. The time is short, so I'll move on now. I'll move on to the slides and just share with you the last few slides, or maybe last one slide. Okay, so the last slide here that I have is, okay, this is in the newspaper today. So I just want to share with you what happened in the newspaper today. There are people, some successful people, young people, not very old, not maybe half my age, who are successful, and they're sharing some of these things in the newspaper. And they said, what is the advice that I would give to myself when I was 21 years old? Okay, so one of them says, make many mistakes, make them quickly, learn and move on. So make mistakes now. This is a good time to make mistakes, no problem. Patience. Rome was not built in one day. What this person thought may take 3 years actually took 10 years. So you got to have patience around it, and you got to keep working on it. Do not get distracted by the goal. Focus on the journey. Learn the craft and learn the process. Okay, that's the coaching from some people who've been very successful. Take breaks. Spend time with friends and family. They are your support structure. They will continue to provide you training and a support structure for any time that there's a breakdown, breakthroughs and breakdowns. This is your structure. Family and friends are your, and your teachers are your structure. Okay, and just last slide that I want to show you. There will be a quiz for today's session, which will be for grade, and then also the preparatory material for the next Saturday will also be made available on Monday. All right, and I know it's a little over time now. It's already 11:05, but I just want to say thank you. I take one interaction so that I can get a sense of that this is complete. So please give me another 2-3 minutes and we will close. Okay, we'll take a break at that time. So one more interaction I'd like to have. Yes, this is which place? It's familiar.
AKS Madhya Pradesh.
Okay, AKS Madhya Pradesh. How are you? Okay, I can't hear you. I can see you waving, but I can't hear you. I can't hear you. No problem. Okay, we'll go to another college. Okay, Integral University, Lucknow. So one person, yeah, please share with me what you got out of the last session on time management.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello. My voice is audible, sir?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes.
In previous slides, what I have seen that you have explained about go on practicing. So, just I want to know, sir, for effective communication, how we can go for effective communication?
So I have given some examples, some suggestions of what to do. Okay, I'm also giving, as a part of the homework also I'm giving something to do. So please do the exercises that should answer your question. Okay, I have a very specific question. The question is on time management. Do you, yeah, so do you manage yourself? Is this what I say, would it be useful or no?
Yes, sir, it is useful.
Okay.
And I am also managing my time according to my schedule. I have for time management, I have prepared a timetable, and according to that timetable, I am try to work as much possible as I can.
Excellent. Yeah, even if you did on a daily basis, even if you could manage 70% of what you said you would do, if 70% of that got done, hey, that's a big deal. Slowly you will improve your effectiveness, but 50, 60, 70% in the beginning is good. So don't be disheartened if you only got half the things done. Next day you will be able to do a little more done and a little more done. Okay, but it's a matter of practice. So thank you for sharing this, because there are a lot of students out there, a lot of participants who actually need to get into this habit and practice of managing their time. So the intent was to invite people to start doing it, because as a professional you will be expected to do that. Okay, so thank you very much, Lucknow. Bye bye. Okay, so for everybody, I want to say thank you very much. Please do your assignment, and any questions, any queries, please keep posting them on the forum. We'll do the best that we can so that we can answer your questions. Okay, so thank you very much. And sorry. Okay, so the time now is 11:10. I'm sorry I ate up 10 minutes of your time. So your break is now reduced to, instead of 30 minutes, it is reduced to 25 minutes. So I'll request Professor Leena Jha to give me those 5 minutes from her time. Okay, so 11:35, which is in exactly 25 minutes, please be back ready to begin on the next session. Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye.